Thanks so much for joining us here on the Monsters in the Morning. Dan Jiggetts here alongside my partner Mike North.
What up?
And he's back and loaded with information.
There he is.
Beloved, the publisher of the Bear Report, Crist, joins us.
Hello, Johnny.
Good to have you back, man.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed the week off. And
tell us a little bit about your venture, your little adventure.
Yeah, we took a little 4 or 5 day trip down to Tallahassee, Florida, saw the old alma mater, got some 89-degree weather, and aside from the Florida State running defense, which gave up 400 yards.
Was it 89 in honor of the coach's birthday?
Something like that, yeah.
How many yards did they give up on the ground?
Like 403 or something like that.
You got to keep them for 5.
Take it easy,
Good.
It's the whole coaching. They got to clean out.
49-44. I mean, it was a video game back and forth, 49-44. A lot of fun to watch just to be a football fan. But for a proud alma mater,
I remember when Florida State used to have that video game, they wouldn't allow the other team to play.
Yeah, and that was before I had a couple of gray hairs.
So they ran out, though, with arm in arm.
Yeah,
you went out with them arm in arm?
I was 20 rows up. I would have loved to be there arm in arm with Coach Bell.
And then after they coach, you're the greatest, they lost the game.
Until they lost the game, yeah.
But it was a competitive game.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. Christian Ponder, their quarterback, had an unbelievable day, but the defense, I mean, Georgia Tech ran 4 plays the entire game.
I remember the old days when anybody in America that followed college football would know the name of the quarterback of Florida State.
Yeah.
Christian Ponder, new to people viewing in Chicago.
350 yards and 5 touchdown passes, and he's not the story of that game.
Right. That tells you all you need to know, right?
So they are still getting some players.
Oh, yeah, they still got the players, but the coaching of said players is not what it used to be.
And that's it goes to an assistant level as well.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So if you get rid of Bobby Bowden, you got to you probably clean house, or does Jumbo or Jimbo fit?
I don't think it's going to be a clean house ever because, Mickey Andrews is every bit as much of a legend as the defensive coordinator. They got to change some things.
Mickey Andrews, wasn't he the guy in the Monkees?
Yeah.
He was a drummer, I believe, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you're one of them deals after the coach is like the vice president moves up and runs for office.
Probably.
Right, just moves right up.
Something needs to be done. They got to change something in a hurry.
Hey, speaking of changing things in a hurry, the Bears better change a few things.
What happened?
That was as I said when I walked on this set, every year a team that misses the playoffs, there's one game you look back on and say, if we'd only done this, if we hadn't made this mistake, we let one get away from us. I'm afraid this is going to be that game for the Bears. And the funny thing is that it was Atlanta last year, too. They found a way to lose that game with 11 seconds to go. Yesterday, the turnovers killed you. The penalties killed you. Mental mistakes killed you, especially coming off a bye week. I was very, very surprised to see a Bears team that, to me, did not look prepared and ready to play this game.
Yeah, because they should have looked fresh. I mean,
you get 2 weeks off. Well, let me ask you guys a question. How did this no huddle do? Now, has Atlanta done no huddle this year before?
They've done it before.
How does it surprise the coaching staff that has 2 weeks to prepare? All of a sudden, they're going, wait a minute.
I heard Tom Thayer talking about it on the pregame show on the radio.
Yeah, then how is the coaching staff? And according to what Al Michaels will say, they're confused, and it's a complete surprise. How is it a complete surprise to this coach?
It's not that revolutionary of an idea.
Right.
It's not like they came out in the wishbone or something they've never seen before. And the funny thing is that if you go back to the preseason, I know it's a preseason game, but Buffalo, by design, runs a no-huddle offense. Right. And even in a preseason game, the Bears had trouble with the Buffalo offense running no huddle, and I know it's a little bit of a change-up. I know the Bears substitute heavily along the front line. That obviously was a problem. A guy like Marcus Harrison's got to get off the field a little quicker and maybe mess with the substitution patterns.
I know he started.
I don't know what
I just didn't catch his name too much during the telecast last night.
Yeah, neither did anybody else.
And another guy, when they lose, you do notice Tommy Harris got to be more involved. I'm sorry. He's got to be. Last night was not a good game for him.
One of my absolute keys to the game was that you had to get pressure on Matt Ryan last night. I know that the defensive line has gotten lots of praise this year, and deservedly so. Coach Marinelli's done a great job, but this is a really good Atlanta offensive line. Matt Ryan has not been sacked since week 1. If you give him time in the pocket, he's going to beat you. And like you said earlier, he's a guy that makes quick decisions. So you've got to get to that guy, and the defense line did not get it.
See, I was thinking that, when you have a guy that throws the way he does, 1, 2, 3, let the ball go, the best thing you can do as a defensive lineman is take a step or 2 and get your hands up.
Right.
Try to get into a passing lane. Because in order to get to him, you have to beat somebody right off the snap.
Well, this is stuff that the great Rod Marinelli has taught him, isn't it?
It should be. But
last night, the Marinelli mystique takes a hit. No hits, no hurries, no sacks. I mean, they didn't even make the fluster the guy.
Right.
I mean, but defensively now, on the run, they did a good job on Michael
2 years
Turner.
in a row.
I guess they picked their poison.
Yeah.
And it turned out the Bears should have won this game. I hate this on the offense.
As for the no-huddle stuff, they were doing so much, mixing and matching. And you saw this going on right before the snap. They were trying to get guys because they were in blitzes and they were trying to get out of blitzes and playing that little chess game. The problem is that once Atlanta realized that they could cause some confusion with the Bears defense.
Absolutely.
Let's go no huddle because they're killing us otherwise.
I think
but don't you think, Coach, that Lovie Smith's team will be prepared because we've done this before?
Yeah, well, the thing you do? You keep it simple. You don't come up with 99
So if we keep it simple, we can confuse this coaching staff?
No, you keep it simple so that way you might be able to beat
But
Atlanta.
if we keep it simple, we won't have our key players.
I think for the first time, you really miss Brian Urlacher at middle linebacker.
I
really do. Believe it or not.
I said the first minute or two, I lost a bet with Brian that he'd bring up Urlacher.
You have to. How do you not? I mean, Nick Roach
because you know
has
why?
played well.
Because if the quarterback does what he's supposed to do and the offense does what they're supposed to do, like they did the previous 3 weeks, Brian Urlacher was an afterthought.
I think what you're making reference to probably is in terms of what they were saying.
I'm not talking about the playmaking ability.
Stuff like
I'm not talking about the playmaking ability. You're right, Dan. I'm talking about making the calls on the fly. I'm talking about getting your defense positioned accordingly. I'm talking about an offense that is matching you up with problems and is going no huddle, and that Nick Roach was just not making those adjustments on the fly. There were several snaps for the Atlanta Falcons last night where right as the ball is being snapped, there's still some Bears defenders not quite sure what they're doing. I think that was a product of
I saw them looking at each other like, who the hell's balling the play?
Exactly. It happened on the Roddy White touchdown.
I'll give you one better. They missed Hunter Hillenmeyer even. They missed Hunter. They missed Brian.
Well, Hillenmeyer's more experienced in the system, and he can make those calls. Not that Nick Roach can, but Hillenmeyer's been here since 2004, so he knows it a little better.
That's it. All right, we're going to take a quick break, guys. Jen will get us caught up with a weather and traffic update, and then we're going to get back to John Crist here next on Comcast SportsNet.